Hi, and welcome to EmpowHERx, a podcast where women in pharmacy share their voices, victories, and visions for a stronger profession. I'm Katie Bell, joined by my amazing co-hosts, Pam Marquess and Lindsay McCoy.
Hi, I'm Pam.
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
Each episode will highlight the incredible women shaping pharmacy today, from independent owners and clinical leaders to innovators and advocates. Our goal is simple. We want to inspire connection, confidence, and change, one conversation at a time. So EmpowHERx started as a shared idea between the three of us and the women that we thought that women needed a place to be heard. We wanted to share our stories. We wanted to face those moments together where we felt unseen or stretched too thin, and we realized that sharing our stories could really lift others. The profession is full of women doing amazing things every day. We're running pharmacies, we're mentoring students, we are running our families as well as our businesses. And EmpowHERx is about amplifying our voices so we can be heard and be noticed and take ownership and pride in everything that we can do. It's not just about the success stories, it's about real stories. It's about the late nights, the resilience, and rediscovering are why we chose to be in the field of pharmacy. Pam and Lindsay, what led you to want to be a part of EmpowHERx? What led to this moment for us? Pam?
Well, I do. I think it was just a meeting of the minds as we began to brainstorm and talk about this opportunity and what it could mean, not only for the three of us sharing ideas, lifting each other up, but as we move to have other women join us across the country in the profession of pharmacy, bringing everybody on board. And there's a saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. We believe that's what this podcast is going to do.
Yes. Lindsay?
So I have kind of built a lot in my career on the concept of why not? And I don't say that to say that I'll just do anything, but the most important and significant things I have changed from why not and taking an opportunity to my why. And the biggest one being where I am, being in psych pharmacy, in a community mental health center was not part of my plan going into my career after residency and getting started. But because of one text message and an offer of the job and someone thinking that I would be a good fit and me saying, okay, why not? You know, that scary leap of faith, that has become such a source of inspiration for myself. And I've worked through a lot on my own of imposter syndrome and not feeling like I'm enough. And finally finding that, I mean, as an example of the recovery community, that connection is everything. And that is seeing it in front of me day to day in my patients. It's inspiring, and being able to kind of contribute that in my own way in this community is something that's really exciting to me. And so I'm excited to move it forward and to kind of grow another community and build our strengths and build our bonds.
I think that's so great because we are so used to going, oh, we're adding another thing onto our plate. Like, how can I do this? Why should I do this? And just turning that into like why should I not do this? Like, this is an opportunity that's coming to me. Like, let's just jump in full force and get it going. I think that is such a good way to turn something that's like, oh, why me? Into a like, why not me? Like, who else but me should be doing this? And I think that that's what a lot of women end up doing is we just jump in, you know, like, sure, I'm a feet first person. Like, let's jump in and figure it out as we go.
Well, I agree. I agree. I think that most female pharmacists that I know are problem solvers. And so we do it every day, all day long, not only at work, but at home. And so, you know, building a community where women can come to one another. And I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. And so I think like when I think of EmpowHERx, I feel these conversations are meant to be so uplifting. They're not heavy, deep conversations, but they're necessary conversations to move the profession forward, to move women forward, and to let us go, like, yeah, we did that. Like, we can do that. And I hope that the stories just keep coming and coming, and we just find more and more wonderful women throughout as the series progresses. Pam, what do you hope people take away from our vision and mission of EmpowHERx?
Well, this is going to be a home for everyone, of every background, every niche in our profession, whether it is innovators, students, hospital pharmacists, long-term care pharmacists, pharma. This is for everybody. And so as we share our stories and share our conversations, whether it's about leadership, innovation, hot topics of the day, those kind of things, this is going to be a home for everybody.
Yes, I love that. The inclusivity of being in pharmacy and the diversity of being in pharmacy. I don't think I've ever walked into a pharmacy that has had the same make. Although I do feel that it is, when you walk into a retail setting, you mostly see female technicians running around with like usually a woman or a man pharmacist, but it's typically technician driven is female, but like 68% of the workforce is female pharmacists. And, we are here and we're running the profession. And I love that. I think mentors are a great thing to be had. Lindsay, what made us lean into the name of EmpowHERx?
I was looking through the notes of our first meeting, kind of our list of all of the ideas for names that we had, and some of them were pretty good. Some of them weren't very specific. We had some cute things like Pharma Peaches because we're in Georgia, and there was one that it was just Empower Her, and her it spelled out harnessing empowerment and resiliency. And so that I think grabbed us because empower is what we want to do. It's a great word, and combining her in there, but then tacking on that RX. So it's like a prescription for empowerment for women. It's kind of putting it all together. And so, we came to Empower Her RX. And I think that it's a really good, it's a good description of what our mission is, what we want to do. Yeah. And it puts it all together. We got empowering her and pharmacy. That's us.
As we're talking about women supporting women, each of us has had mentors who've believed in us and we've believed in ourselves. Those moments of support have changed everything. The energy of EmpowHERx is to bring the encouragement and not the competition, but more collaboration. There's room for all of us to be at this table. Okay. And if you're listening thinking, my story isn't special enough to share, it absolutely is. Every story adds strength to our collective voice. Pam, you have been in the field as such a leader for the independents. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, sure. My story spans a good 30 years. I'm a multi-store community pharmacy owner, and
not just a multi-store. It's 16 stores that you are. You are a small conglomerate.
It's a lot, and you can look at me and tell I've been through it. I've ridden the valleys and the mountains through it all, the good times and the bad, and we've seen it all. But it's exciting. It's fantastic, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I've enjoyed every moment of it, and whether it's a long-term care pharmacy, a compounding pharmacy, or just a traditional community pharmacy, I love every bit of it. And I have made so many friends along the way. Every day is a challenge, and I wake up every morning thinking, how am I going to push the envelope on our profession today? What can I do that's new that helps patients in our community? And that's what we want to be known for. So it's been a really fun and exciting career, and it's a fantastic profession. I still encourage everybody to go into pharmacy. There's so many niches. But I think one of the most fun things that I'm really proud of most recently is we developed a collaboration with a local hospital to do meds to beds. And we are just enjoying that so much every day. I'm on call at night. I'm on call on the weekends. And so I haven't been on call in a really long time, but I am really happy about it. And I'm working, just want to make sure this is a successful program. And so I'm putting the time and energy into that. So that's sort of what's new with
I
me.
like that. I think that that's what always has drawn me to you, is that your like sense of girl bossness and just like being on the edge. And I met Jonathan first which is your husband. I met him first because he is the face of independent pharmacies in Georgia, and he would just come to my store. But I quickly learned that Pam is the one that moved the needle for the independents. And I loved that. And like, I was a fangirl, and I told our mutual friend, Cole Sandlin, who is also way out of my league, to be a mentor, but he came to me first. And I said, I saw Pam Marquess today. And he's like, do you want me to text her? And I said, no, she's going to be my friend. She's going to be my friend. I'm going to make her my friend. And our stores were so close. We were only like 30 minutes away. Woodstock Pharmacy to Bell's Family Pharmacy was only 30 minutes away from each other.
You got
it's like, we're going to be best friends.
Isn't that the strangest thing, though? That
I can be there so quick.
We're so close.
Said, do you want to have lunch? I got you, girl.
It's just a phenomena in life that your stores are so close, but yet you don't go have lunch or you don't go to dinner at night. You know one another, but that is an interesting thing about how fast life moves, I think, and how busy we are as pharmacist moms, because when, you go home at night, you take care of the kids, you're cooking dinner, you're getting homework, whatever it is. So that's an interesting connection.
That is an interesting connection, because I always prided myself on choosing pharmacy, because at the end of the night you could turn it off and you could just go home and not have to worry about work. Whereas a lot of people have to bring work home with them. And I was like, when the pharmacy's closed, I go home, until I became an owner, and then life changed. But it really does take that community away. And so I think we're really bringing it back now. The community needs to come back together. And I enjoy being around all my pharmacist friends so much. Everyone in the pharmacy field, because nobody understands it unless you're in it, how it works. And so, Lindsay, your story is also one that's super amazing with the mental health challenges and bringing that to Athens. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I graduated pharmacy school and ended up doing a community practice residency with UGA. My primary practice site was in Athens, and Athens is a great town, obviously, yeah. So I wanted to stay. But I didn't realize to what extent. So when I was in my residency program, it was fantastic training, one of the best years of my life. And I got to do some things with different sites in the area. And I felt like this is it. Like, this is community. I got it. And I wanted to stick around even more. So thankfully, while not quite yet sticking around at the same place I was, I got to stay in the area. I was a manager for a large retail grocery chain pharmacy. But a few short months later, I get a text message from the owner of Village Drug Shop, where I did my primary practice site in my residency program. And he said, we are going to put a pharmacy inside the community mental health center. And they'd had a relationship for 30 plus years at that point. but we're going to put a pharmacy in. I think you'd be a good fit. You can really do a lot of things to grow. And I hesitated so much. It was not an immediate, like, yes, let's go do this. It was, do I want to do this? I cared nothing about psych, mental health, or anything like that when I was in school. I vividly remember studying for it and just being like, get this over with. So that was a big hurdle for me. And, taking a leap of being in a different space, of going from that corporate structured part to independent, also kind of scary, and starting it from the ground up, also kind of scary. So ultimately, obviously I did it because 10 plus years in, we've been able to build so much within the organization. And we've built a lot of connections and had so many great programs that we've been able to do that it continues to fuel. Like every day I go and probably bug more people than I should of, hey, I think this is something that we could do from the pharmacy that would really help our patient experience, because we have so many different types of settings for it. We've got kind of an inpatient aspect. We have your regular like retail community pharmacy space. We're right there in the clinic. And so there's just so much cool stuff that we get to do that I get to do it every day. And I really love it. And so that I like.
And you're making such a difference. Yeah. You're making such a difference in Athens.
Thanks.
I think like that is like amazing that you took this idea and you ran with it and made it your own.
Well, Lindsay, you're a true pioneer in that space. That's what I think of when I think of Lindsay. And, we also have a pharmacy in Athens, and I'm in awe of Lindsay and that community, all that she does and gives. And it's very courageous what she has done. It's fantastic.
Thanks. Well, and now, Katie, can you tell us more about your journey?
So my journey winds and weaves. I was 10 years at Walking, and I loved Walgreens. Never thought I would leave Walgreens. And I thought that this is it. And then one day I had a friend open an independent, and he was like, you would be great at running an independent. And I was like, never thought about it. And that kind of sowed the bug. So I then decided, I dropped all of my 30-year plan, just dropped it on the floor and was like, guess what, husband? We're going to go open an independent. And he comes from the world of front-end pharmacy. And he was like, let's do it. I support this. So we did it. We moved from Mississippi to Georgia to open our pharmacy. We opened Bell's Family Pharmacy in 2019. And sadly, COVID happened right after, which was a mixed blessing for the pharmacy, but it allowed us to stay open for 5 years. And we were open for 5 years and 1 month. And I closed in 2024, 2 weeks before I gave birth. But in closing my pharmacy, it allowed us, it didn't start the movement because the movement was happening, but that year they had predicted, Pam, correct me with these numbers, it was like 1 in 3 independent pharmacies were going to close in 2024. And I was one of the first that closed in Georgia. And I had thankfully made a lot of friends in the independent world. And so when I closed, people took notice, even though we were a very small pharmacy. Like I was not a big hitter in any world, but friends took notice, and we became the movement of getting equal pay for independent pharmacies in Georgia. And our legislator, Rick Jaspers, got on the pulpit and talked about what my pharmacy meant to him, and it's going to make me cry. But he spoke so beautifully and eloquently and was able to help us. And while it didn't pass the first time through, it ended up passing this year. And, my pharmacy was the picture that everyone saw. We gave the data that showed that when you were getting your rosuvastatin at Walgreens or a chain pharmacy, you were the the pharmacy PBMs were paying $35 to my 50 cents, I want to say. It was such a ridiculous number. And we were able to get that data out there and show it. And because I had nothing to lose anymore, we were there. So now I'm in this space where I work for an independent pharmacy because it's where my heart is. And the owner of our pharmacy loves numbers. And he was like, Katie, I love your creativity. I love your passion for being an owner. He was like, I want that. So I go around and I my little joke is like, I'm basically a farm rep. I go to the doctor's offices. I find new revenues, new streams of revenue to bring into our independent pharmacy. And I have such a fun time doing it. And it is really where I don't have to have the responsibility of owning. I still see all my patients because it's just 3 miles down the road. And, but I am so happy to be in this space, and I still get to be in this beautiful world of independent pharmacy, which I love. I love it so much. But I still have a kinship with corporate retail pharmacy, and I love the clinical aspects. Like, I am pushing to get us more clinical, and Pam, her son, is doing clinical work right now, and I just think it's so groundbreaking and wonderful. And he's doing a fellowship with some great people, and I just am so excited to see where this is going to go for our profession, and hopefully see a whole new world of pharmacy, because it's not what it was 20 years ago. It's not what it was 50 years ago. It's not what it was 5 years ago. It's so different.
Well, it's definitely transformed, but I love your story. Even though you have a valley that you share very openly and eloquently, you were a real rock star during that time in your store, and you were very transparent about all that happened. And it did change the life of every community pharmacy in our state. So that you're a champion in my eyes for that, and for being willing to bulldoze through everything that had to be told to expose what was happening. So that was fantastic, Katie. And I can't agree more. I think there's so many exciting things happening. Right now, you're an entrepreneur, and you get to do all the fun stuff and none of the hard stuff, which is great. That's fantastic. And so
I don't like numbers as much as crunching them. So I feel like this is the good part of my ownership, is that I just get to sit there and I go, I have an idea. And Jeff goes, write it down. Let's think it through. And I'm like, but I want to just go do it. And he's like, So he's the yin to my yang, but it works out. It's a good partnership for both of us.
It is. And I will say about the future, I think there's so many opportunities in the clinical world. You mentioned that, but at a week ago at the NCPA meeting, I met with several colleagues across the country who are pioneering with some really powerful clinical models, very similar to what my son is doing. And we can talk about that on another episode, but we want to share that with everybody, because there's a lot of opportunity for pharmacists in the clinical space doing what we already do every day, changing lives for patients, making their lives better, safer, and that's where we all win. So it's good things coming down the pipeline.
Great things are coming down the pipeline. And every episode we're going to end with a EmpowHERx movement. And today's movement is a simple reflection on, or it's a challenge to take into your week. And what woman in pharmacy, and we're all going to answer this, has lifted you up? And I want you to send her a message, or tag her, or make the call. Let her know that she mattered to you, and that she meant something to you. I'll start first. My person is first Pam. She meant so much to me, and we've talked about this today. I don't think she realized until today how much she's meant to me. But she was a lot. But Sarah Swinson, someone outside the podcast for us, Sarah Swinson is my she is everything. She is a mom. She is running a pharmacy with her partner, and she is just like killing it. She has become a Medicare agent, and she is on the board. She's just doing for GPHA. She's doing so many great things in leadership. And we started in independent world very similarly and at around the same time. So it's just so fun to see her flourish in a way that like I wish I could have as an owner, but like she owns it, and I am so happy for her. So she's my girl. She's my girl crush for the moment. She's the one I am going to shout out and tag and tell her I love her so much. Lindsay, who is your girl?
My girl is Catherine Borg Rebich. She was my residency director, but she just has this energy about being a pharmacist and patient care and teaching. And it was something that we clicked so quickly in the program and then afterward. And I miss her so dearly because she moved away, and I don't get to see her anymore. We don't get to go hang out and go to a bar downtown and break out our binders and highlighters to work. And that was so fun for us. Like we had fun working to advance our patient care. And so she's my person. She's my empowering woman. And I love her so much, and she needs to come visit me.
Pam, who is yours?
You know, I'm going to go back to those days of pharmacy school. Dr. Julie Cold, just
those educators.
Yeah, those educators. They tug on those heartstrings, but I'm forever indebted to her. During my 4th year of pharmacy school, my dad got really, really sick and was in a coma for 21 days, and I had to make a really tough decision. The administration said I could withdraw from school, and Dr. Julie Cold fought for me and said, no, she's going to stay in school. This is really going to date me, but she's like, we're going to give her a pager so that the hospital can page her, if something's going on with her dad. It was a beeper. There were no cell phones back then, or there might have been, but as a student, I didn't have a cell phone. So she really was my advocate and fought for me to be able to stay in school, but yet be able to keep in touch while my dad was really ill. And that was a life-changing moment for me, because honestly, if I would have had to withdraw, you never know what could have transpired during that downtime. So I'm eternally grateful for Dr. Julie Cold. I love her. She does come to one of my pharmacies now, so I get to see her often and tell her this story every time I see her, and she just laughs with the cutest little laugh about it. She goes, I don't even remember that story. I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Such an educator move to not even know the impact that you're making on something.
Exactly.
And both of you have mentioned educators, and that is so wonderful, because they've had this whole impact. And I feel like as educator, I've never been an educator, but to me, it seems like such a thankless job sometimes. And I just think that that's how wonderful that you guys are. That's great.
Yes.
So upcoming, how to join the EmpowHERx movement. I want you to like and subscribe wherever you find this podcast. We are coming to you. We are going to put out regular stories with pharmacists that are women, or not even pharmacists, women in the just in the profession that are helping pharmacists. And we are coming to you, and we are going to share our stories. If you have a story, send us an email. Tell us about it. We have a Facebook page. We are making a Facebook group. We are on LinkedIn. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are even on YouTube. So please let us know. We are here. We are trying to start a movement. We want this to be a kickoff. We are here for it all. Wherever you go, please like and subscribe. Share this with a friend today. Also, please nominate a woman that you would like. If you are not wanting to be on the podcast, but say you know someone who wants to be on the doesn't even have to want to be on the podcast. I'm very persuasive. I know who else is very persuasive are these two ladies, because they convinced me to do this. But we are very persuasive women. We're here. We don't take no. Tell us these amazing women. We will have roundtable discussions. We want to hear your stories. If you don't want to share your story in person, send it to us. We will share it for you. Please also go to our Patreon. We have our Patreon that you can help us with sponsorships. Please, if you are in the business and want to sponsor us, also call me. I love sponsorships. Thank you so much for listening to our first ever episode of EmpowHERx. The movement is coming. Please take hold.